my dear friends, this is my second communication about the Chaim Walder abuse allegations. And I came on to tell you all that we're going to get through this together. I am certainly not suggesting by any measure that it's going to be an easy ride. It really is going to be grueling and difficult and painful. We have to sort it out ourselves. We have to help our children through this. But I really do believe that we're going to get to the other side stronger. First, the challenges. I'm reading an email that I got from an old friend. Dear Baharitz, thank you for sending out your communication last night. I've been secretly hoping that our now adult children don't find out about this story, but of course they will. Our children, this is a woman, perhaps a little younger than I am, but, not a teenager. Our children were raised on Rabbi Walder's books and loved them. The loved was in all caps. They read them again and again and again. It was a special treat to turn to the chapters they knew well and read yet another time. Rabbi Walder's books created a humanizing and honest picture of all kinds of kids and families, and it felt like the best of who we could be. So this news is especially crushing, and I hope it turns out to be some terrible mistake. So hard to fathom. Looking forward to your guidance on this. And that's the truth. That's the brutal reality that we're going to have to sort out. Of course, I join everyone in saying we hope it's not true. But things are coming out more and more. Again, Chaim Walder is certainly entitled to present his case and defend himself under the presumption of innocence, but things are really starting to look very, very, very frightening. I just want to give you a perspective, having lived through and guided many people in the Hasidic community in America through the Nehemiah Weberman case. It was horrible. It was in the papers constantly. There was a lot of friction among our own community, those who believed Weberman, those who didn't. I personally stood with the victim throughout the entire incident after I got firsthand information from 4 victims who did not know each other and who related the same story, basically. And the introduction was made through the Brooklyn DA. So that was the only time in my adult life that I ever took the side publicly of a victim saying I believe her story. It's nowhere near this. I have no involvement at all in the details of what's going on here. So I remain silent on that. But the takeaway was that overall the experience moved the community forward probably 10 years in a few months. The discomfort about what was going on and the discussion, even the dialogue among people who believed and people who didn't believe, kept evolving and changing. And throughout the trial and the build-up to the trial before that, I was writing articles and talking about not Weberman specifically, but the big ideas, how grooming works, the notion of the theory of the just world, where we don't want to believe these situations, the halo effect, why it is that we let people get away with things because we trust in them. And the process itself was painful and very necessary. So I'm certainly not wearing rose-colored glasses. Those were torn off my face decades ago in dealing with child abusers. But we will get through this together, and I pledge that my organization, Bright Beginnings, and I personally will stay with it and help you through it. I'm going to be talking about this often, and I'm going to be interviewing people who have skill sets that I don't, to help you speak to your children, to help you speak to teenagers. That's an area that I personally am more comfortable with. I'm really not that qualified to speak about speaking to younger children, like tweens and teens is my space. I want to get mental health professionals to speak to ourselves in terms of the denial, people who specialize in anxiety. I'm really going to devote a great deal of time and resources to help you through this. We will get through this together. It's not going to be easy. Don't let anyone tell you, who cares, it's nothing. It's a big deal, and it's a very big deal because of the fact that we've all invited Chaim Walder into our homes. And many or most of us have gained from the experience, which makes it that much more confusing. But we're going to get through this together. So I encourage you to think about it in terms of a painful educational experience. And the more we learn, the more we talk, the more we understand, the healthier we'll be on the other end. One final note, and it's something that I often use as an analogy. If any of us get up in the morning, we wash our hands and touch an electrical appliance with wet hands, we come out of the shower, we touch a blow dryer, we touch a shaver, we instantly feel we feel a shock. We also know exactly what happened. Now, imagine this: someone from a third world country has the exact same experience. Never saw electricity before, got the same electric shock. Both people had the same pain, but the people from developed countries who know what was happening experienced it in a different way because we knew what was going on. The confusion and the lack of understanding makes it much more painful. So please come along this journey and to try to get in touch with our own feelings. Forget the kids for a moment. The more we process our own feelings honestly, the more we understand this, the better equipped we'll be to deal with our children, and as a community we'll be stronger on the other end. Okay, so I'm in it for the long haul. We're going to get through this together. Be well.